Hello. It is time for JoltTV.
Let's go!
Have you guys ever felt like if I only had something, my life would be way easier? Like, if only I had more friends, or if only I had an extra Xbox, or if only I had better grades or better teachers, if only I had something, my life would be way better. And then because we don't have whatever thing that is, and we ask God for that thing, we're like, God, where are you? Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that way, right? And we're not the first ones to feel this way. Thousands of years ago, in the nation of Israel, God's chosen people, we see this prophet, this very strong prophet. Like he's a man or a woman that would speak for God, and his name was Elisha. Everybody say Elisha.
Elisha.
And over the next couple weeks, we're talking about his life and some of the cool things that he did. Well, there's just one story in the Bible where these three kings all come together to fight this battle. You got the king of Israel, the king of Judah, which was like part of Israel, but then they broke off and whatever. They're also God's chosen people. And then one other kingdom, and they combine to go and fight this battle. On the way to this battle, they found a pretty big problem. They ran out of water. You kind of need water to live. Your soldiers need water. All of your animals that are with you need like water. And yeah, this is bad days. So these three kings are like, man, what are we going to do? So they pray, what are we going to do? God, give us water. And there's no water. They need this water. Their life would be so much better if they just had water. And they had no water. And they're like, God, where are you? Now, thankfully, somebody in their army was like, hey, over there's this prophet named Elisha. Go get him. And so they send for Elisha. So Elisha shows up. He talks to these kings. They have some back and forth. And Elisha's like, y'all need to get your lives right. And the king's like, yeah. And then eventually they come to this point. And Elisha's like, all right, I'm going to go talk to God, see if we can get you guys some water. So Elisha goes, talks to God, comes back, and tells these kings something crazy. He's like, there's not going to be any wind. There's not going to be any rain. But this valley you're in, it's going to be filled with water. So have your entire army start digging ditches. Like, what? They're in a desert in the hot sun with no water. And Elisha's like, hey, you know what you should do when you have no water and you're out in the hot desert sun? Manual labor. Needless to say, they were not thrilled. But they didn't really have any choices, and so they were like, all right, hey, army, I know we're all dying of thirst. Go work really hard and dig some ditches. Of course, we can figure out how the story is going to end, right? After they dig these ditches, the ditches all filled with water, and they have more than enough for all of the people in their armies, and all of their cattle, all of their livestock, all the people, all the animals traveling with them. Everybody had water. I think there's a couple things we can learn from this story real quick. Number one, only God can send the water, but sometimes He wants us to dig the ditch. Sometimes we want things, but we're not willing to work for it. You know what I mean? Like, man, if only I had better friends, my life would be so much better. And God's like, yes, absolutely. Why don't you go to church more and make some really good friends? Or we're like, no, God, magically make them just appear in my life. God's like, no, you gotta go dig a ditch. You gotta go places where there are good people to be your friend. Only God can send the water, but sometimes we need to dig the ditch. Second thing we can learn, having faith, believing in God, having real strong faith. Real faith believes big, but is willing to start small. We believe that God can send all of this water to us. We're going to start by doing something small like digging one ditch. So what is that for you? You believe God can do something big in your life, but God's saying, I need you to start small. By being kind to kids at school, to not bully kids, to stand up to bullies. Spend less time on your phone. Read your Bible. I don't know, something small that maybe God can take into something big. Real faith believes big, but starts small. Get out there and dig some ditches this week, Jolt. Peace!